I came across a friend of mine who was talking about his sister. Mm-hmm. And said his sister made what would be a generationally classic mistake. All the money was in her husband's name. Mm. So he passed suddenly.
Oh, and she didn't know.
And she's trying to find it.
Right.
And she found out there's debts and things. Here's the thing about financial independence for women that we know. You don't have to wait till the end to figure out that you weren't paying attention. You need to pay attention early. You need to be responsible for your own money. That's not just a new thing. That's a smart thing. So please introduce our guest.
You have to sit down to have that meeting with the person that's doing the planning of it, like your husband, so you do know. Our guest today, thank you for coming in so early. It's Dr. Barbara Provost and Maggie Nielsen. They are the founders of pursestrings.co. Ladies, thank you for being here. And you are all about financial independence for women. Is that right?
That's right. We like to say to all women to be financially fearless.
That's wonderful.
Why is it that I'm 62? Why is it that our generations have always turned it over to the men, even if there were women who were doing the monthly bills?
Well, it's really been enculturated to us. You know, as we're growing up as young girls, we were often given those kind of money messages to either you're bad with math or you should be giving the money to your husband. He should be in control of the finances. And so we kind of fall into the model that we see our parents doing. And so often we find, unfortunately, that it sets us up for really putting us in a bad position, like you were saying.
And I think what happens is you don't think about money and habits with money the same way you think about, well, I shouldn't use bad language in front of the kids. Right. I shouldn't model this in front of the kids. Modeling that sort of deferential behavior is not great for your daughters.
It absolutely is not. Wouldn't you agree, Maggie?
Yeah, definitely. And it's those things where if you always saw your parents, arguing about money, you're not going to go to your partner and talk to them about money because you're like, money equals argument, so let's just call the whole thing off. So you really got to, display what your children should be doing around money in those conversations.
And don't you think that now if a woman's like, I really want to do the finances, then they start doing them and see how everything, the spreadsheets become green and everything works out. And then when it becomes something good, do you see the interest changing? Because now finances are something fun because you're making money, you're saving money, you're planning for retirement. Is that something that you're seeing that's changed? It has to have changed over the years.
Well, a lot of women are so financially independent now. I mean, more women are buying houses on their own. Many women are out earning their husbands. So yeah, money does not have to be a scary thing. It's kind of been like this, bad thing. It's kind of been secretive, or it's so complicated I'll never understand it. And really, it's not that complicated. It's kind of a foundation, like a life skill, like cooking and cleaning and raising children. Money is a foundation for all of that. It's not complicated. And if you feel it is complicated, there are plenty of professionals that can help you really understand it.
And you don't have to like it. It doesn't have to be fun, but it's like drinking water. It's one of those things you need to be aware of. It's part of your life. Don't not open the envelopes when they come home. Be on top of this stuff. Create a system that works for you and work with it. But we highly advocate going to professionals. So, Maggie, you're an MBA.
Yep.
What interested you in money? And would you say women of your age have less interest than you in money?
So what interested me is just seeing how much people would talk about it in like a scarcity way or just didn't talk about it at all, especially going into college and planning those big payments and like not having those discussions with their family. So I would definitely say I'm seeped in it more than others at my age group. But I do see a lot more women really owning their finances and really wanting to be financially independent and not always relying on, that spouse to then, take care of them and live their lives, but being able to live their lives independently, which is exciting.
It is good, right? Because there is a generational change that's going on and an understanding that you don't need to depend on a dude other than to get the stuff off the high shelves and to open the jars that are really tight. Those are the things that maybe you should
they're still super useful for that.
Yeah, right. So, Doctor, what's your message to younger women first and then maybe women who are a little bit older who haven't done it before?
Yeah, so I always say start today. I can tell you that the number one regret of women is that they did not start investing their finances or learning about money until it was way, way too late. And over and over, the mantra has been, I wish I had known this sooner. I wish I had started sooner. I wish I had, someone like a purse string sooner, because now I need a go-to resource where I can start learning about money wherever I am in my financial journey, which could be divorced, widowhood, landing a new job, getting a big windfall. You really need to, your money is your power. You need to step into your power and really feel the power of it and leverage it for your future.
And I love that you're saying the money is your power, because, if you're young and you're not into it, you can look at a person who's 24, first job, you're sitting with the HR person and they say, here, you should put some money in your 401k. You're a 24-year-old kid. You just want beer money or whatever you're doing.
Right.
Or you go fast forward to a 50-year-old and all of a sudden they have no 401k because they didn't listen to that HR person. So if you can create the awareness, make it fun, then you can change the trajectory of what that person is doing and how it looks. But if somebody is 50 and they're like, uh-oh, I haven't done much. Is it too late?
Yeah, well, you have to start where you are. And you have to really look at what your cash flow is, and you may have to make some adjustments. But we say start with a financial coach. Have a financial coach help you set up a good cash flow foundation for a budget. And then when you're ready to do some investing, maybe you need a financial advisor. Or there's plenty of apps and online DIY, but we always say if you're uncertain, you should work with a professional. And many women think, I don't have enough money, or they're only for people who have a lot of money. But really, financial advisors, there's so many out there that will work with anyone at any price point.
Well, that's one of the things that you guys try to do, right? Match people up with financial advisors who are right for them.
Yeah, we have a whole directory of what we call our vetted purse strings approved professionals who are there to engage with women. They're vetted and available for hire, but we look for professionals who understand a female market. They know what women are up against, and they lead with education and knowledge and not push a product. And then they build relationships with you, see where you're at, because everybody's at a different financial place on their financial journey, and they're available to hire and work with so that you can set yourself up for the future.
And you should never be charged for a consultation, right? I mean, everybody should be willing to meet with you at least one time and say, well, let's take a look at what you have.
Yeah, definitely. You want to make sure it's a good vibe and you feel comfortable with them, because we always say you're almost getting financially naked when you open up all these spreadsheets and different things like that. And so,
see, that's the weird part. I do that in front of my financial guys.
Totally naked.
It's really awkward, so but once we get past that first hour and a half.
Exactly.
So it's interesting, too, because I feel like over the last several years, a lot of women and men, but women are taking their side hustles and making them their full-time job. So a lot of women-owned businesses. Do you have support for those people as well?
Definitely, yeah. We have a ton of business coaches, and then people who can help you with the finances, and then different people who can kind of help you with, like, what's the next step? Should I take on more debt to, kind of grow? Should I sell the business? How do I plan to sell the business or pass it down? So we do have, business professionals in all these different areas. So you can build the best business, because we know, 1,800 women are opening new businesses every day. And so we have all those resources for you.
Yeah, and here's a bulletin. Every guy is not good with money.
Right.
True.
Amen.
And because of that, you turn that over to a guy, and it turns out, he's a great husband. He's a great father. He's a great guy. But he also threw thousands of dollars away unintentionally because he didn't know what he was doing, and you didn't have the conversation.
You got to have the conversation.
Stick around for a second. How do people get a hold of you, and would you recommend what? The website, socials, where you want to send them?
Yeah, check us out on our website, pursestrings.co, and then we're all over social media at pursestringsco.
And they're going to try to help you find a professional. I mean, you're going to take your car to get the oil changed.
Right.
You're going to go to the doctor because they went to med school.
Right.
You're going to have professionals in your lives every day. Why wouldn't you do this with the thing that you really need to have a handle on, your money?
Definitely.
Oh, God, this show is so helpful.
I know it. You're just, wow.
Our website again is?
pursestrings.co.
More in a moment. All right, just a couple minutes left here with our friends from Purse Strings, pursestrings.co. Jane?
Yes, Dr.
Oh, you know what? Let me just set this up, though. We're going to do the presidential version of for Creed tickets. You just heard the promotional announcement. You want to win Creed tickets, 312-591-8900. As always, there's never been a loser. We have a perfect 100% record of winners on this show. So I like your chances. Multiple choice, help from us. You know the drill. Creed tickets, 312-591-8900. All right, Jane.
Dr. Barbara Provost and Maggie Nielsen here from Purse Strings. The credit card debt, we've been hearing about how crazy it is, and people aren't paying their bills, or they're not working, or I don't know what's out of whack, but it seems like credit cards are higher and no one's paying them. Women average credit card debt is $5,200. Men a little bit higher. If someone's looking at that average credit card debt, let's say they lost a big job and they're working but not able to pay it off. What's the first thing they do? Where do they go? How do they manage that?
Yeah, so always pay the minimum because you don't want those extra fees. That's just going to put you behind more. But really look at all the money coming in and all the money going out and seeing if you can reallocate it in any different way. So I know when you lose a job, you might cut back on some of those subscriptions you may have or going out to eat as much. But make sure you're really spending with your values, especially if money is more scarce or it's just not coming in. And then seeing different opportunities where you could bring in more money, whether that's a side hustle or a new position or leveling up. But sometimes it could be really helpful to then invest in like a career coach to kind of help you up level. And so it's a little investment in yourself, but then that next step is almost like a bigger leap, which is really exciting.
And there's tons of resources at your website.
It sounds better than sitting around worrying about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, taking action is always the most important part. You can't just sit there and dwell.
Dr. Barbara, last words, financial self-esteem. We talk about self-esteem in girls all the time, and we all need to do a better job at encouraging that. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody that's not capable of achieving that? Because you see people all the time who just go, I just don't get it. I glaze over. I can't do it. I can't do it.
They can do it. They absolutely can do it. We need more financial literacy in our school system. It's one thing that is really lacking and missing. And we need to start it, I would say, in kindergarten on how money works and what money is, and really teaching that life skill throughout every single grade and talking about money. We say if we're not talking about money, we're not learning about money.
Good for you guys.
Smart.
Website again is?
Pursestrings.co.
And we were just talking about your brother off the air if he's listening. Listen to your sister. She's an MBA.
Yeah, listen to him. Listen to me.
Pursestrings.co. All right. Thank you, ladies, very much.
Thank you so much for having us.